I want to talk to you about my experience at the German consulate in Boston, Massachusetts. Hey guys, this is Faye from Faye's World Media. Cheers. And in this video, I want to talk to you about my experience at the German consulate in Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States. So here's why I needed a German visa to visit Hamburg, and my trip was to visit the Atherton twins from Cirque du Soleil because their whole family are performing inside the show called Paramore. I needed a visa because I am a Chinese citizen, which means I have a Chinese passport, and that is required. To find out whether you need a German visa to visit Germany, simply visit their website and there's a list of country that filters and answers that question very easily for you. Since I needed that, I planned ahead as a project manager. I wanted to visit Germany in early December, and I had to coordinate with other people, my business partner and my producer. So I started looking into the application process at the end of October. As soon as I fill out the application, which by the way takes about 20 to 30 minutes, you know how it goes, pull in some numbers and home address and all that jazz. So I was a little bit disappointed to find out that it actually takes 4 weeks to schedule my appointment. So by the time I fill out the application, I couldn't get in for an appointment until the end of November. As you know, Thanksgiving and all that. So I did it. I believe my appointment was on November 20th, 2019. The requirements for me to go in for an in-person interview is that I need to have all my travel itinerary ready in hand. It means the place I'll be staying at, whether it's a hotel or Airbnb, the printout confirmation, but also the airline tickets. So that really helped me back quite a bit. By the time I get in for the interview at the end of November, it was important for me to plan and know when I will have my visa in hand so I can actually enter Germany. So on their website, it says that it takes up about 10 to 15 days to finish processing the visa application. So basically on their website, they tell you that it takes them about 10 to 15 days to process the application and to stamp your passport with that visa. So for me, that means at the very least, I need to plan for 3 weeks in advance. So 3 weeks from my appointment date for my travel. When I thought about that, there are so many things that could go wrong, as you know. What if they needed more information? So I really didn't want to risk purchasing airline tickets that are not refundable, and then I'm gonna miss my flight and not be able to go. It was really frustrating, to be honest. So here's what happened. Instead of buying tickets that are super expensive and difficult to purchase during the holiday, which is the end of December, I decided to push out my travel date to February. When I arrived at the German consulate, they told me that it was important for them to know when I'll be traveling to Germany. So it's not so much of me getting the visa and it's valid for 6 months. It's not. It's only valid for the duration of my travel. That's why they have to see my Airbnb, my airline tickets. If it says February 5th to February 10th, for example, that's the window they're giving me permission to travel. So I was a little stunned and said, what if I get stuck? What if I need to make last minute travel arrangement? So there's a soft measure, basically. They mentioned that there is a grace period of 10 to 15 days beyond my travel date. So instead of giving me that cutoff and that I absolutely need to get out of Germany by the 10th, I have approximately till February 20th. Something like that. But it's certainly not as flexible as my English visa, which I applied the year before, and it's valid for 6 months. And I can travel anytime, start and date, as long as it's within that 6-month period. For German visa, it's not the case. Now here's another twist. You can actually get the visa a lot sooner than 15 days. As soon as I finished the interview, I received the little receipt that asked me to come back basically within 7 days. I was in on my interview, I think on a Tuesday, and basically by next Tuesday, by the following Tuesday, I could go back in then or anytime after that during business hours and pick up my visa. So that was completely unexpected. That's not 3 weeks, that's 1 week. So with a visa in hand by early December, I could have totally made my trip by December, but I didn't. So that's my experience. I think the best advice I could give you is to give them a call. whether you're in Boston, you're in New York, wherever you are with the German consulate, you want to give them a call and just to assess and make sure there isn't any backlog that you're unaware of, there isn't any social or medical situation that you're unaware of, such as right now, we're still living in the coronavirus epidemic. So, there's a lot of travel constraints. I don't know which airlines or which countries that currently apply to outside of China. You probably do have to look for CDC or the relevant website in your own country. So definitely that's my experience working with the German consulate overall. On the day of the service, they were fairly friendly and they're trying to be helpful. But when I arrived there, there's a very strict time period. You have it on your appointment card, which is if you are asked to arrive by, say, 10:45, they really only slot you about 15 to 20 minutes for your appointment. It's supposed to be quick. So if you have questions like I did, then it might take longer and you gotta feel a bit of a push and pressure and before they absolutely have to see the next candidate or application candidate. Another thing I want to mention is the location of the German consulate in Boston, Massachusetts. It's inside of the Copley Plaza. So for those of you who are familiar with Boston, that's a big shopping area. It took me just a bit to find it because I was walking by like the Louis Vuitton, Prada stores or whatever up the escalator and it's inside. Basically, they re-renovated the Copley Plaza and from the third floor and up are all office buildings. So you will be walking through a place where you see Wayfair, which is an agency. And there are going to be a separate set of elevators for you to go up to the German consulate. And the consulate itself is quite small, to be honest. And there are security guards outside at the beginning, basically on the third floor of Copley Plaza, and they will be able to direct you to where you need to visit. And you'll get this little barcode, as a visitor pass. You do need to bring an identification. Obviously, you'll have your passport with you on that day, so definitely make sure you bring that. If you are a green card holder, make sure you bring your green card. Whenever you apply for a visa, whether it's a German visa or otherwise, for those of you living in countries that require these travel visas before you can visit anywhere in the world, it is really important for you to invest just a bit. Put the plane tickets, put the Airbnbs, put the hotels on your credit card, and make sure you select something for the time being that is refundable, guys. You need refundable tickets, you need refundable hotel arrangements. Make sure 1,000%, because if something happens to the visa process, the last thing you want to deal with is a non-refundable tickets and you're really stuck. You're going to lose a lot of money. The visa appointment, I believe I paid about $68 US, and that may change depending on the exchange rate. But then again, $68 or whatever that may be, the visa application is about $100. That compared to what you might lose via airline tickets, it's not worth it. So make sure you buy both travel insurance, which is required for visiting Germany. You have to buy travel insurance that covers the entire duration of your trip and more. In fact, it might ask you to cover, a few days before and a few days after, just in case you change your travel plan. And get everything refundable and make sure you put everything together in a folder, or if you're like me, I organize my trip via Chase, who I have the credit card with, or I manage that trip itinerary under Expedia or Google Travel. Whatever it is, make sure you stay organized and have all your documents ready. Hope you find this helpful and good luck with your trip. Have fun, go see the world, and make new friends. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. Here on this channel, we share a variety of content, but our goal is to focus on content creators and creative entrepreneurs to help them live their financial and creative freedom. So check out our content related to podcasting, freelancing, content creation, digital marketing, all for free at your fingertips. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.